Hey, this is Mike B. Listen, I just want to share a story with you that I read in one of my books that I'm reading, and I'll try to, be mindful of the time in sharing this story because it really blessed me just to hear it, or I'm sorry, or to read it, and I just thought it was something to share with you. So, as I said before, if you watched any of my previous videos, I'm reading a book now called The Philosophy of Success. The author is Obama Bowen. He's a successful network marketer in the industry. And so he wrote this book that I'm reading, and he has a story in there about King Arthur. For some of you that may, be a history buff or may, know of King Arthur and the Round Knights of the Round Table, you may know of the story. And the way the story goes is this. When King Arthur was young, he was, taken captive by a monarch, and the monarch, was, fascinated with his ideas and some of the things that, he, was displaying. That he gave him an option to have his freedom, but in order to keep his freedom, he had to answer one question. And he would give him a year to answer that question. If he gave the right answer, then he would be set free for the rest of his life. Well, King Arthur obviously thought about it because, it was either be put to death or at least be given an opportunity to get the answer and live for the rest of his life. So he chose, to answer the question and, go for his freedom. To make a long story short, he went back to his kingdom. He, asked all of the wise men, all of the wise, all of the people, all of the princesses, everyone that he could think of, anyone that, he knew or that his people or his court could tell him that could give him the answer to the question. And eventually he had to go to a witch that was in, the area that was known for her wisdom and at the same time known for her high prices. So he had to go and answer this question because he knew that in order to get the answer, she was the only one left that could give him the answer to the question. And the question that he needed to get the answer to was, what do women really want? Think about that. What do women really want? So he had to go to her to get the answer to the question. And she said to him, well, I'll give you the answer to the question, but you have to agree to my price first. And she said her price was that she wanted to marry one of the most noblest men of the Round Table, which was Sir Lancelot, who was King Arthur's friend. Well, he would not agree to those terms. He didn't want to put his friend in that position, and he definitely didn't think it was fair. One of the reasons why is because, unfortunately, she wasn't, a very, nice looking witch. um, and she had one tooth, she had a hunchback, and she had a odor about herself. So she wasn't very, appealing to the eye, let alone, very, good to be around. But as he pondered the question, and word got out that she had made this proposal to him. Word even got back to Sir Lancelot, and Sir Lancelot respected King Arthur, and he respected, his king, and he said, "Whatever I have to do to preserve the throne, I'm willing to do." So he agreed to the terms, and lo and behold, she gave him the answer to his question. And so she said, and when she gave him the answer to the question, uh, he went back to the monarch, gave him the answer to the question, and he was set free. So there was a wedding. Sir Lancelot and the witch got married, and it came to, the end of the day where now he had to go, and be with his bride. Well, he went back to his chambers, and when he opened the door, he was astonished to see a beautiful maiden in his chambers. And he was puzzled, and he did not understand what had happened. So he asked the maiden, what was going on here. And she began to explain to him that she was the witch that, he agreed to marry. And she said the reason why she's beautiful is because she has the ability to be beautiful during half of the day and then go back to being the old ugly witch the rest of the day. And so she had or he had a decision to make, and she asked him, what would you want me to be? Do you want me to be beautiful during the early part of the day and then ugly at night, or do you want it to be the other way around? He pondered the question, he thought about it, and though he probably would have agreed to, whatever, he was willing to, uh, you know, accept whatever the response, the outcome was. Um, he said to her, that's your decision. And so when he said that to her, she responded to him and said, you know, I choose to be beautiful all the time. And the reason I choose that is because you were kind to me and you gave me the ability to be in control of my own life. Think about that, because he gave her the decision to be in control of her own life. And that was the answer to the question that, women just want to be in control of their own life. Not saying that, most men are control freaks, but the answer to the question was that women want to be in control of their own life. I thought that was just, amazing. I really did. And I really, was impressed by that, because I think that sometimes people don't, have the ability to make their own decision, or they don't feel like they have the ability to make their own decision or be in control of their own life because of all of the other people that are making decisions for them or have been making decisions for them. I'm not saying that you go on a rebellious nature. I'm just saying that some decisions are meant for you to make. Some decisions are meant for you to make. And sometimes you have to be given that authority to be able to make that decision. Just like in life, you're going to have to make plenty of decisions. And some decisions you have to make on your own. You can't always rely on someone else to help you make that decision for you. You have to make it for yourself. So what do you want to do with your life? There are a lot of things that you can do to succeed. There are a lot of things that you can do to be successful. And whatever your dreams, goals, or desires are, don't be afraid to make a decision. This is Mike B. Have a great day.